Dear Netflix, you were so very close to making a fantastic action movie. Extraction was a great first step, and I really do believe you'll get there someday. To give some credit, you've made many great drama, horror, and comedy films. Some of the very best, quote, television shows call your platform home. Heck, the greatest video game adaptation of all time resides on Netflix. Shout out to Castlevania. You came close yet again with The Old Guard, a movie that combines a unique concept with good performances, but comes up short in a few key areas. We will make an action movie factory out of you yet one day. All my best, Brian. Thank you so much for checking out the review. Before we get started, click on that red subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you know whenever I post a new video. Netflix's latest 2020 action movie is called The Old Guard. The film introduces us to a lethal, efficient group of Special Forces operatives. I'm using the term Special Forces extremely loosely because they fly no flag and clearly operate outside the bounds of a supporting country. Charlize Theron, who has proven herself as a more than capable action movie heroine over the last several years, is Andy, the leader of the unnamed group. I got the immediate impression that she's supposed to be a spy, based on her having secret meetings in broad daylight in Middle Eastern countries. If she is a spy, she just might be the worst spy on planet Earth. I mean, she shows up to this meeting with black hair, black pants, black boots, a black shirt, and black sunglasses. This is the equivalent of Trinity from The Matrix showing up at a retirement home on bingo night and trying to kidnap your grandma without getting busted. That very meeting leads the team into a middle-of-the-night hostage rescue operation that goes wrong when Andy and the guys are led into a basement and gunned down. Now, having seen absolutely zero marketing material for The Old Guard prior to watching it, I took an extremely wild guess that they were not dead, and was proven right when the entire team mysteriously starts to heal their wounds and stand up. As to be expected, they promptly murder the ambush team and realize the entire thing was a setup. So Andy and her team of 4 are immortal. Picture Wolverine from the X-Men, but an entire group of them, without claws. For hundreds of years, they have fought alongside historical figures and done everything within their power to maintain world peace. This is a fascinating concept, even if a concept itself doesn't necessarily make a movie. What's it like to never die? How's it feel to lose everyone you've ever loved over and over again? These themes of life and loss are touched on throughout the picture, but never in great depth or at any length. We know that these people have been around for generations, but their history and connections are all very surface level. Filling a high concept with an abundance of lore simply isn't served well by a 2-hour-long movie. Watching The Old Guard gave me the very real sense that this would have fared far better as a series instead of simply a movie. As for the performances, they are mostly good throughout. Theron is fully in her element within this type of film. She looks awesome kicking all the asses on screen and does a fantastic job carrying the weight of her character's past deeds. You can tell that Andy has grown weary of quietly saving the world. This isn't Furiosa from Mad Max Fury Road when it comes to depth, but it's good enough for this movie. Chiwetel Ejiofor is basically great in everything he does, but as the government stooge attempting to capture the heroes, he's given very little to actually do in this movie, apart from spouting various pieces of plot explanation and providing some moral lessons. Why exactly is he here? Kiki Layne plays a young Marine named Nile who accidentally discovers she's also mortal and becomes a part of the team, very predictably. She's mostly doe-eyed and sad, and her performance is very unmemorable. Unfortunately, this is just another example of the film shoving too much lore into that 2-hour window. An entire season of television could have been dedicated to her learning about her newfound powers. Of course, any truly fantastic action movie gets a ton of clout from a compelling and memorable villain. Harry Melling, who you would probably recognize as Dudley from the Harry Potter series, plays a young Big Pharma CEO who wants to harness the power of immortality to make a bunch of money, blah, blah, blah. Super original idea, guys. Nice work. The villain here could not possibly be more one note. Ooh, look, wealthy bad guy who only wants to become more wealthy. Give me a break. A little bit of nuance can go a long way, y'all. From a technical standpoint, the vast majority of the film is great. Bullets fly, bones break and then heal, fists punch faces, stuff explodes, and the movie does include one of the best guy getting yeeted off a building scenes that I've ever watched. The sound effects are equally fantastic. The music, however, is a completely different story. Instead of a simple musical score, the filmmakers decided to throw in some absolutely eye-rolling songs, including lyrics, basically telling you what's going on during the scenes. It's noticeable, it's awkward, and it's a bizarre artistic choice that simply did not work for me. I'm happy to give The Old Guard a ton of credit for trying very hard, but it ends up shoveling way too much world building into a movie that should have been stretched out into something significantly longer. The film does set itself up for a sequel, but doesn't really make a strong enough case to justify one. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the review, click on that red subscribe button and the notification bell. You can also like and share the video since that really helps the channel grow. Also, let me know what you thought of The Old Guard down in the comments, and I'll see you next Wednesday at 9 a.m.